Alright, welcome back to the channel. As you can see here, I still have my old SD. I've had it on Marketplace now for basically since I put up my last video, and I just really haven't gotten any interest in it. So I've basically taken it down off of Marketplace, and I don't think I'm going to sell it. I think I'm actually going to hang on to it. But in the time since I put up my last video, I've actually had it out, took it on a fairly decent drive down to see one of my sons, and do a little shopping in one of the bigger cities around here, actually Wichita, Kansas. So that was all right, getting the car out on the highway after I got the engine and all of that on it. But yeah, I think today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to try to get this sunroof to operate a little better. It it does work, but it it just doesn't move as good as, what it should. So basically, that's kind of what I'm going to start working on today. And without further ado, I'll get in here and start taking it apart, and yeah, see if we can't get it to work better. All right, as you can see here, this is the inner panel, uh, basically off of the sunroof. And to get it out, you need to come up in here with a trim removal tool. And, well, first of all, you need to take and slide your sunroof back and get in there with like a trim removal tool, or something like that, to be able to get in here and pop these clips out of it. And I've actually had this piece out of the car now for a while, just because all of this is pretty well broken up, and it just allowed the material here to sag down, and I just didn't like it, so I took that out. Gosh, I think just shortly after I got the car. And yeah, I plan on, I think I might go up and see if I can't get like some thin plastic to replace all of that with, just to be able to get something to you know uh, hold that material up with. Probably spray it with a little bit of uh, oh some adhesive, for that kind of thing. And yeah, but basically that's what you need to do first, is take out that inner panel, and then you'll want to come up in here and start taking out these rails here. And I'll go up and get my screwdriver, and we'll start taking these out. All right. You got basically 5 screws up in here that hold these rails in. Not too terribly hard to get these out, or at least it shouldn't be. And I'm sorry I haven't really put up too many videos here of late. It's been pretty hot. This is not really the hottest summer we've had on record. But we've had 23 days of 100-degree weather here in Kansas this summer. And I know I've got that air conditioner back there in the other part of my shop, but it works pretty good, but not nearly as well as I was hoping it would. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, you just got a couple of little trim pieces like this down underneath of it after you pop that main rail off. And I don't know if this one here pops out on this or not. It should, but yeah, I'll get moved over to the other side, and we'll get that one taken off. And speaking of heat, it is actually nice out here today. It's got to be 70 some degrees. So a perfect day to get out here and do stuff like this. And I know it's not a huge thing, but I've actually crossed over 100 subscribers. And I'd just like to thank all my new subscribers for subscribing to my channel. Well, Well, it looks like that one there is going to give me a little bit of a pain. Alright, now that I've gotten that other screw out with some pliers, basically, I'll end up having to go in and get another screw. But I got that rail, well, that main rail off, and now I can work on getting basically the inside of it taken off, and yeah, I'll have to come up in here, and you can see some of the screws there that hold that trim piece on. I'll have to take those out to get this basically air deflector off of there, and yeah, we'll kind of go from there. All right, after thinking about it, I don't need to pull this deflector off of here, but I did go ahead and I pulled that chrome piece off of there, just so that I could get it cleaned up just a little bit better. But now basically, after removing those other rails here, I can go ahead and close the sunroof, and I can start taking it apart from the inside. So I'll go ahead and get that sunroof closed up, and we can go ahead and get that done. All right, now that we got the sunroof closed up, you can take and you can see right here on the end of this rod that goes all the way back here. You can't really see it from here, but yeah, right there, you can see where there's another rod that comes up into this tube. Well, there's a cable that runs inside of that, and what holds that cable in place is this little clip right here in the end of this, and you could take a little flat blade screwdriver and kind of get it in there and just push it on out like that, and that'll release release that cable. But yeah, it's nothing too terribly hard to do. Well, shouldn't be too terribly hard to do. There we go. Now that I think I've lost it down inside of there, but oh well, I'll find it later. But yeah, basically now you just kind of take and turn your car on and hit the button to open up the sunroof, and it should pull it out just like that. And I think, all right, now that I've got the sunroof out, we can kind of get in here and inspect some of the guides on it, or sliders, whatever you want to call them. These over here, I've already, kind of cleaned up a little bit, but these right here were just coated in some old nasty grease, and basically this side over here was too. But if you look up front here, that is basically a mounting point for another set of guides. And yeah, these right here are the guides and they pretty well fell apart. This one over here was a little bit better. You can see the cutout in it to where it should slide up and over this basically mounting point, but yeah, that thing's just falling apart, ain't no good. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. I think I'll have to see if somebody has a replacement for it or what, but you can kind of see right here, that's another guide that doesn't look to be in too bad a shape, and this one over here on the other side is missing. So I'm going to have to see if I can find those parts, but for now, I'm going to go ahead and clean all of these up a little bit better, oil up that hinge right there, and see if I can, get them to move just a little bit more freely. So yeah, and after I got the sunroof out, I went ahead and got this rod here. This is what basically moves your sunroof back and forth. And as you can see right here, it's got these little pieces on the steel cable that basically help it slide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and get all of that slid back off of there, and I'm going to squirt some WD-40 down in there. But the thing about that rod there is it seemed to move pretty freely. It just didn't seem to be binding up or anything else like that. So yeah, I think a lot of the problem with the sunroof was evidently those guides, and I think that's probably going to be most of our problem here. But yeah, I'll go ahead and get some WD-40 put up, sprayed up inside of that tube right there, and we'll. All right, so I got the cable put back up in there. If you pull it all the way out, you'll find that once you go to put it back in, it it likes to get bound up back there in the basically the C pillar, and it you basically just got to kind of force it back down and through that part right there. But it's not too terribly difficult to get it to go back in. But this is kind of what I came up with to replace the sliders on the sunroof. What that is basically just a just an old V-belt that I took and put a slice in it so that it would fit around the tabs where basically the sliders attach onto. So I don't know if that's going to work 100%, but I'll get the sunroof back in there and we'll give it a shot. Okay, here's a tip for you. This clip here that goes in the end of that cable, you can see here that it's stepped, being that it's, you know, smaller at the end of it and kind of bigger there. So this thing will only go in one way up here on the end of that. And if you find yourself not being able to get this put back in correctly, it should just slide right in fairly easily. But you can see right here on the end of that cable, it's got little flats in it. You could stick a screwdriver in there and basically turn that cable, and that's how you can get that clip to go back in. So now since we got all of that put back in, I can open the sunroof back up, hopefully. And all right, after putting the sunroof in there, as you can see here, I had to take it back out. Well, basically the guides that I made here were too thick. So basically after I put those top rails on it, it just wouldn't move. So I basically had to take the parts that I made, and as you can see, this belt material here, I basically had to take and grind the grooved part of the belt off of it, just to get it thin enough, kind of like these guides here, to hopefully get it to be able to slide. So I just basically got the other side over here that I have to get grinded down thin enough, and I'll go ahead and put the sunroof back in, and hopefully it works this time. All right, well, there you have it. It took a little bit to finally get the basically those sliders that I had to make trimmed down right and get it to basically work. But as you can, I'll show you guys here real quick just how well it does work. I mean, that honestly works so much better than what it did before. Whenever I first got the car, it didn't open at all. I had to get in here with a screwdriver and basically kind of pry it open. You can see right there where I kind of chipped the paint. Not that it, you know, really matters up top here. But yeah, I think the next few things I'm going to do is, if I can find the correct sliders, basically, for lack of better words, I'll go ahead and buy them and get them put in. But if I can't find them, these here are working pretty good, honestly. But I think I'll get in here and start replacing all of these gaskets that go around, just because they're pretty dried up. But the crazy thing about it is, they never, as many times as I've ever had it through the car wash, you know, they don't leak. So I honestly, I have no idea how they're not leaking, but yeah, they don't leak. So yeah, that might be my next video. I've been getting a lot of people asking me about lowering this car and all of that, but I think I need to get in here, and I've been driving the car now for about, gosh, 3 months now, since I lowered it. And I'd like to get in here and at least pull the wheels off of it and just kind of check a few things out, because these springs that I lowered it with are basically for a gas powered car, which the gasoline engine weighs a lot less than the diesel engine here. So the drop in the front is a lot lower than what you'd find on a gas powered car. Well, I say a lot lower, I think it probably sits it down about, oh, I don't know, an inch lower in the front than what a gas powered car would be. But I'll have more on that on another video coming up. And yeah, now that I plan on keeping the old thing, I've got a ton more work to do to it. One thing that I really want to get done is I want to get in here and do something about the stereo and start getting some of the seals around the windshield and the back glass replaced, just because they're starting to get a little dry. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd just like to thank all of my new subscribers for subscribing. I've finally crossed over 100 subscribers on my channel, and if you enjoy this video and would like to see more of my old 300 SD here, please give me a like and share it with your friends. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.